Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews, and today we're looking at chapter 84 of Black Clover. Now granted this came out quite late yesterday. I officially read it around about midnight-ish, and one of the subscribers or viewers, Leo, thank you again for the link, posted this about 1ish. Unfortunately at that time of night it is too late. I was literally awoken from my sleep because of a noise. I put my phone on charge to see the link. So if you ever get this and I haven't done a video, if you get a link earlier, preferably 10 PM or earlier, send me a link. I will do the review a lot sooner. This will be a 5-point review. Without further ado, let's get in. So before really getting into it, the important thing for me is to talk about what I thought overall. Overall, I really enjoyed this chapter for two reasons. I got to see the two things I was most interested in. A, does Asta get healed? And B, what is the Queen's reaction to the swords, to his magic? Them were the two key ingredients for me, the two things I was interested in, and we got that. Now, what happens moving forward, I don't know, but let's get into the chapter. Anyway, so the first point for this review is the reaction to Fana and Maz. Now, because of the Queen's magic, she was able to show the Black Bull crew what was going on. Now Finral, as always, the reaction is priceless. He doesn't like violence, he doesn't like fighting, he is scared. So he's like, oh, why me? Why me? Why does it always happen to me? Asta, on the other hand, was just happy that Maz was able to get out the dungeon, and he was surprised to see Fana again. So that was cool, really straightforward, really interesting. The fact that that was his reaction and that was Fana's reaction. The Queen was very indifferent, she wasn't bothered. She goes, oh, I'll just blow him away. Point number one. We get to see Fana's actual magical powers. Point number two. So when we were first introduced to Fana, it was in a flashback with Maz. She was supposedly dead, but then we saw her in the current timeline as a member of the third eye of White Eye, I guess, as being one of the top three with Veto and Liar. And when we saw her then, she had a salamander around her, very small, sitting on her shoulder, not being too devastating, but we found out he was one of the four elementals, and I believe the salamander or the dragon type of creature she's flying on is that salamander. She does a fire spirit attack, salamander's breath, devastating the forest. There's two things to bear in mind with this. Number one, it's fire versus earth magic, or green or grass magic, so elemental advantage. Number two, she's got destructive power. We know that. Add an elemental to it, it only boosts that. So her being that powerful, and the salamander not being fully developed, only builds hyped. So when we can see her having a fully developed salamander, that's what I'm looking forward to. That could go one of two ways. She could get killed today, or in this arc now, which I'm hoping isn't the case, to prevent the salamander ability going for it to pass into somebody else, or we could see that they retreat and basically we get to see it fully developed in a future arc. That's point number two. Fana's magic, overwhelming, devastating. Point number three, Vanessa's plan. We finally get to hear it. So we thought it was a bit crazy that she gave herself up just so Asta's arms could get healed. Obviously this whole time Asta didn't know what the plan was. He only realised when he got there because nobody told him, and his natural reaction was like, no, I can't accept this, what the hell are you thinking? As the chapter goes on, we realise what the actual plan was. True to being a black bull, she planned for Asta to get his arms healed and then use his anti-magic to actually get away. That was brilliant. I like the fact that she didn't actually want to give herself up. It was all in plan to get two things done. A, to get Asta's stuff sorted out. B, lie to the Queen's face and get out of there again. Enjoyed. That conversation between them two was brilliant. And the fact that Vanessa sees a lot of Yami in Asta was a brilliant thing, because she left the Witch's Coven to join Yami's crew because she felt impelled to do so. She fell into his charismatic nature. He's a stud, as Yami is, the muscle freak that he is. I could understand that. And seeing Asta showing some of those same traits and characteristics is always a positive thing, because that led him to be the captain Yami. I'm assuming this is what's going to help Asta go that far to captain level before moving on to Sorcerer Emperor. That's point number 3. So in point number 3 we saw Vanessa's plan. Point number 4 is Asta's plan. So there's a question that's always asked in the Reddit forums. I like how the author has answered that question. So I like that the author either is reading these Reddit forums or these other channel forums and actually responding with something. So Asta's plan was to use his anti-magic sword to cut the magic that was on him, the curse, to kind of dispel it. Doesn't work, but we got the question answered that it doesn't work because a curse is a different type of magic. I believe it's quite possible that somewhere down the line Asta will develop or get a magic sword that dispels curses and hexes. I think that's going to be another level, because it seems like that's an ancient magic and it's something that the Queen is interested in. So we'll get to the Queen in point number 5, but her reaction was priceless. Moving on to point number 5. The whole situation with the Queen, point number 5. Shock, shock and shock, shock, shock. That's literally there was a lot of it. Shock when the forest was getting blown up and the power of Fanar's salamander. Shock when she saw the anti-magic sword. And shock when she got told, when Asta moves, we move, and she got put in her place. I really like that. So she heals Asta. She uses ability like nothing, which shows she has some power. She heals Asta's arm. She says to him, I will make your arms stronger than they were before. How that happens, I don't know. Is it augmentation magic? We'll have to wait and see. But then she does also say that with this, I will own those swords, or that sword, and Vanessa. This leads me to believe that the original owners of the sword, or the previous owner of the sword, was potentially a high level witch or wizard, or mage. Someone that she ran into for or was a close acquaintance to, potentially one of the original Sorcerer Emperors. The demon sword and the anti-magic leads me to believe that this could be a Meliodas type of character if you watch Seven Deadly Sins, where he's the king of the demons or a demon slayer in general, kind of like a Van Helsing type of character. So it leads me to believe that somewhere we're going to find more about the Asta situation through the Queen, hopefully later on down the line, with some foreshadowing here and there. So that's pretty much the chapter, but before I leave you, I'm going to leave you with a little bit. I think the Queen is at least mid-tier captain level. Captain level, when you look at bandings and power scaling and things like that, it always fails. But with this one, I think she's a decent captain level, purely because she was able to do advanced magic very easily, and she probably has a big area or a big well of mana. That's what I want to leave you with. Get the juices flowing. You let me know what you think in the comment section below about anything that I mentioned in this chapter. As always, a brilliant chapter. Not the most action impact chapter, but a brilliant setup chapter. And hopefully we'll see some interesting things soon. As always, thank you very much for the viewing of my channel, my videos, my chapters, my episodes. Please continue to do so. Show your support by like, commenting and subscribing, and share it with the friends that may not know my channel and get the word out there. Until next time, peace.